Potential is great. Carrying great potential is fantastic. But let's only half the battle. As a matter of fact, if you carrying the right potential in the wrong environment, guess what's going to happen? You're going to always be yielding the wrong result. Why? Because the environment is the ecosystem that determines how far you can go as a seed. The environment is the ecosystem that gets to determine how what you are carrying is going to respond and now fully deploy all that you are carrying. If the environment is giving you the right nutrients, is giving you access to the right resources, is giving access to the right amount of water, you as a seed, you're going to now start growing and manifest everything that you are carrying. But if the environment or if the ecosystem is not giving you access to the right nutrients, is not giving access to the right exposure to the sun, is not giving access to the right amount of water, what's going to happen is you simply to remain at the stunted level, and you're going to simply spend the rest of your life wondering why and how is it possible that you are carrying exactly the same type of seed as your next door neighbor, but the next door neighbor went on to manifest something far much bigger than what you have accomplished as a person. It boils down to only one key thing: the environment or the ecosystem where you get to be planted as far as the seed of greatness is concerned. But before you start jumping to conclusion and start focusing only on physical environment, let me just tell you that yes, there is an environment that is far more important than your physical environment, and that environment is your mental environment, where you get to plant the seed of greatness within your mind determines how far you can go. Where you get to plant the seed of greatness in your mind determines how you're going to be looking at the past, the interpretation you'll be making of the past, how you be assessing the present, and how you'll be looking at the future, and the right type of goals and vision you'll be coming up with on a daily basis, and the right type of action you'll be taking as far as that particular vision and as far as these particular goals are concerned. Here's the truth. You can look at two nations blessed with the same potential, but as far as results are concerned, they never even yield the same type of result. Why? Because it boils down to the mental ecosystem in which these two nations actually live. If the ecosystem is not giving the people the right nutrient, the right resources to see themselves at a particular level, they will never rise to this particular level. Similarly, if you as a person, you are not placed in an environment, mental environment, where you're giving access, you're giving the seed of greatness, the right nutrient, the right resources to simply grow, manifest all that they're carrying, guess what? You're always going to remain at a level where you simply going to ask yourself, how exactly did I spend my life just doing the same old thing and never amounting to anything? This is key. Here's the funny thing. When it comes to mental environment, if there's one key thing that you have to really pay attention to, is the thoughts that you actually get to entertain on a daily basis. And amongst those thoughts, there's one thought that always comes back as the biggest culprit when it comes to a toxic environment, a toxic ecosystem that robs so many people of the potential. Let me tell you what it is. The thoughts of saying to yourself, I don't deserve to be here. I don't deserve to be here. Because if that thought is not caught, if that thought is not checked, if that thought is not disproved, and if that thought is not replaced with a better thought, what's going to happen is you simply going to manifest the toxicity of this particular environment. You're simply going to find yourself living in a small container and giving people in front of you just the manifestation of a small plant as opposed to the big tree that you were supposed to be. Let me just give you two examples, and I'm going to stop right here. In 1963, a young man was born to a family in America where the father went on to accomplish great things as far as professional achievement is concerned. And eventually, he got tapped to work with the top administration in Washington. So when the boy was born in 1963, he started saying to himself, yes, this is the ecosystem in which I live. This is the environment where I was actually planted. So I'm going to try my very best to become like my father. I'm going to go into the army and try to become a soldier like my daddy, and eventually an officer like my daddy. So that's what he did. But guess what happened? In 1987, he found himself in Germany, riding in a jeep and as he riding in the jeep, because of the rain, heavy rain and the poor visibility, something happened and he found himself in an accident. In an accident, he found himself ejected, and as he's now projected on the ground, guess what? The jeep is also up in the air. But at one point, the jeep started coming down. And it landed in the midsection of this young man who was now lying on the ground. And guess what happened? Not only the pelvic area got impacted, but also the vertebrae got impacted. As a result, they found himself now for 1 year bedridden, and eventually he got discharged from the army because, of course, the level and extent of the injuries could not allow for him to stay in the army and maintain all the demand that were coming his way. He became a civilian, and he went on to become an attorney working in Washington, D.C. But as fate will have it, in 1997, President Bill Clinton decided to tap this young man on the shoulder, simply say, yes, come now work with me. But here's what's going to happen. The young man now said to himself, I was in the right environment before. I was in the right context before. I was in the right ecosystem before. I was going to become an excellent army officer like my daddy. But now I find myself working as a civilian, and I don't think I have what it takes to make it to the next level within this administration. So I have my doubts. I have respect for President Bill Clinton, but I don't think I'm going to accept his position. And as he was articulating his thoughts, fortunately for him, his father, General Colin Powell, went on to sit down with his son, Michael Powell, and simply talked to the young man and simply said, young man, the thoughts that you're entertaining are simply going to create within you a toxic ecosystem for your life. Let me just help you catch these thoughts. You don't deserve to be where you are, because you went to school and you've proven that you have what it takes to work for any administration. Number one, let's just check the validity of what you are thinking. So he went on to check with the validity of what the son was thinking, and he went on to disprove it and help the son replace this thought with something much better. And guess what? Eventually, not only did the son accept to work with President Bill Clinton, but he went on to have an amazing career as a public servant, because someone was able to simply catch the thought, check the thought, disprove it, and replace it with something much better. Let me give you now a final example, something more contemporary. Recently, this young man who been playing in the NBA for close to 21 seasons, so his wish fulfilled. His son, Bronny James, went on to be drafted and to be selected to work with, to play with the Lakers, so the same team as his father. Unfortunately for the young man, many voices started saying that yes, he didn't deserve to be where he is. He doesn't have what it takes to be where he is. And they started creating this toxic environment that could eventually stop the son from actually doing anything. But I love the response that his dad gave recently. He says, my son is not even paying attention to all these thoughts. My son is not even paying attention to what's being said. Why? Because my son and I, we practice this particular thing as far as life is concerned. We create for ourselves the right ecosystem. We simply catch any thoughts that doesn't actually align with who we are. We simply check it, we disprove it, and we simply replace it with superior thoughts. And this is why and how I've come to be in the NBA for 21 consecutive years. How the sun is going to fare down the road, we don't know. But we simply know one key thing: the son is still in the NBA, and that's still going to be part of his resume. So as far as your life is concerned, and as far as your situation is concerned, if you want to flip to the next level, you simply have to do one key thing: pay attention to your potential. Absolutely, that's fantastic. But pay attention specifically to the environment or the ecosystem where your seeds of greatness get to live. And while you're doing that, my friend, catch anything that doesn't resemble or does not align with where you're going, check it, disprove it, and simply replace it with something superior. And that's how slowly but surely you're going to get to challenge these thoughts that's going to tell you from time to time you don't deserve to be here. And with this, my friend, slowly but surely you're going now to start flipping yourself to your next level, one step at a time. All right, thank you so much for watching. Looking forward to sharing more with you in the days to come. But before I go, a couple of things: if you enjoy this type of content and would like to see more of this type of content, my friend, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that next time we put together a video, you can be amongst the first one to see the video. All right, last but not least, if you struggle with any question of identity, more specific, any question of creating the right environment for the seeds of greatness in your life to be fully manifested, my friend, so reach out to us and we're going to see how we can onboard you and help you simply change everything by making sure to catch the wrong thoughts, by checking them, disproving them, and helping you replace them with superior thought and get you to simply flip your life to the next level and get yourself at the top where you so belong. All right, much love. Take care. I'm out.